Welcome to the deep dive.
Today we're diving into something you specifically requested.
How to boost creativity and brain power.
You sent over,
A fascinating mix of material,
including this program called the Genius Wave.
which claims to unlock genius-level thinking with a 7-second brain trick.
Developed by a NASA scientist.
It's always interesting how these concepts, especially those promising enhanced brain power, grab our attention.
Right.
And this Genius Wave program is a great example.
It uses some pretty bold marketing terms like superbrain.
And throws around Edison's name.
Like he's giving out brain power tips from beyond the grave.
Definitely grabs your attention, doesn't it?
But marketing aside, this program also references some intriguing scientific studies about brain waves and creativity. That's what we're here to unpack.
Okay.
So let's talk about those studies.
One that stood out was Venkatraman's article about losing creativity as we age.
You know,
That feeling of your inner child
the one who constantly asks why.
slowly fading away.
I think we can all relate to that a bit.
Absolutely. And Venkatraman's research suggests that actively seeking new knowledge and challenging ourselves mentally might be the key to combating that creative decline. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Oh,
Instead of just accepting that our creativity naturally fades with age.
maybe it's more about actively nurturing that curious, questioning part of ourselves.
Exactly. And this idea of nurturing creativity rather than stifling it connects to another article you shared, Robinson's piece on how traditional education systems might actually hinder creativity.
It makes you wonder if our focus on structured learning sometimes overshadows the power of open-ended exploration and experimentation.
Which is interesting because the Genius Wave itself claims to help you break free from those traditional learning constraints and unlock a new level of thinking, I have to admit.
I'm really curious about this 7-second brain trick they keep mentioning.
But before we get lost in the hype,
Let's look at the science behind their claims.
let's start by demystifying some of the terms used in the Genius Wave material. They talk about activating your superbrain and tapping into the Genius Wave. While those phrases are catchy, they're not really grounded in scientific terminology.
It's important to separate those attention-grabbing terms from the actual science.
Right.
So no scientifically verified superbrain hiding in our skulls waiting for a secret code to unlock it.
Not quite.
But that doesn't mean we can't influence our brain activity. The Genius Wave program emphasizes the idea of brainwave entrainment, a concept that suggests we can potentially influence our mental states by exposing ourselves to external rhythms or stimuli.
Okay.
I've heard of brainwave entrainment.
But it's always sounded a bit like science fiction to me.
Could you break that down for us a little?
Sure. Imagine two metronomes swinging at different rhythms. If you place them on a platform that allows for subtle vibrations to pass between them, you'll notice that over time, they'll start to synchronize and beat in unison.
This is essentially entrainment, the synchronization of rhythms. Now, instead of metronomes, we're talking about brainwaves, the electrical patterns in our brains.
So,
The idea is that if we expose our brains to specific external rhythms,
like certain sounds or light patterns?
we can guide our brain waves into a desired frequency range.
Exactly. And because different brainwave frequencies are associated with different mental states, like alpha waves for relaxation or beta waves for focus, the theory is that by shifting your brainwave state, you can, in turn, influence your thinking and potentially even boost your creativity.
That's fascinating.
So
By tapping into specific brainwave frequencies.
we could potentially unlock different levels of creativity and cognitive function.
That's the idea. But it's important to note that research on brainwave entrainment is still ongoing, and the results are far from conclusive. It's not as simple as flipping a switch and suddenly composing symphonies like Mozart.
So while the idea of controlling our brainwaves to enhance creativity sounds amazing,
It's probably not a magic bullet solution.
right, it's more nuanced than that. Some studies have shown promising results, but more research is needed to fully understand the effects and potential applications of brainwave entrainment.
What about those binaural beats I've heard about?
They claim to use specific sound frequencies to influence brainwave activity.
Is there any validity to that?
Binaural beats are a popular example of auditory entrainment. They work by playing slightly different frequencies into each ear, which creates a third perceived frequency that your brain processes.
The idea is that this perceived frequency can then influence your brainwave patterns.
So you're essentially tricking your brain into syncing up with a specific frequency.
In a way, yes, but it's not about tricking your brain as much as it is about gently guiding its activity.
Think about how certain types of music can evoke specific emotions or mental states.
Upbeat music can make you feel energized, while calming melodies might help you relax.
These are simple examples of how external rhythms and sounds can impact our mental states. And brainwave entrainment aims to explore and harness that connection in a more targeted way.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like how listening to a soothing song can help you relax before bed.
But potentially with a more focused and amplified effect on brainwave patterns.
Precisely. Now, while research on brainwave entrainment is fascinating, it's important to approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism.
We need to be mindful of the limitations and avoid exaggerating the potential benefits.
Is that right?
There's a big difference between scientific curiosity and making grand promises of instantly unlocking genius-level intelligence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of grand promises, let's circle back to this 7-second brain trick that the Genius Wave program keeps teasing.
We've explored brainwave entrainment, looked at some of the research, but we still haven't uncovered the secret to this so-called trick.
I know.
It's like they're dangling this magical solution in front of us, but not telling us what it is.
Part of me wonders if they're building it up to be something more extraordinary than it actually is.
It's certainly a clever marketing tactic. By withholding the trick until the very end, they keep the audience engaged and create a sense of anticipation.
It's like a movie trailer. It only shows the most exciting scenes, but doesn't reveal the actual plot.
Exactly. But unlike a movie trailer, where the payoff is guaranteed, there's no guarantee that this 7-second brain trick is anything more than a catchy name after diving into the science.
Do you have any theories about what this trick might be?
Based on the research cited in the Genius Wave materials, particularly those around brainwave entrainment, it could involve simple techniques like controlled breathing exercises or visualization practices.
Those types of practices are often associated with mindfulness and meditation.
Right.
They are. And some studies suggest that these practices can influence brainwave activity, promoting relaxation and focus, which in turn might enhance creativity.
So maybe this 7-second brain trick isn't about some revolutionary new technology,
but rather about tapping into the power of our own minds, using techniques that have been around for centuries.
That's a possibility. But without more information from the source material, it's impossible to definitively say what this trick entails or if it lives up to the hype.
That's true.
We can analyze the studies and speculate.
But without knowing the specifics of the 7-second brain trick,
it's difficult to evaluate its validity.
And this is where critical thinking comes into play.
Just because something sounds intriguing or promises remarkable results, it's crucial to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism.
We can't just take their word for it.
Especially when it comes to something as complex as the human brain.
We have to look at the evidence.
Understand the science behind the claims.
And then make our own informed judgments.
Absolutely. And sometimes the journey of exploring those claims, like we're doing right now, can be just as enlightening as uncovering the trick itself.
I agree.
It's about more than just finding a quick fix.
It's about cultivating a deeper understanding of how our minds work and exploring the various paths to enhance our cognitive abilities.
Precisely. The human brain is incredibly complex and constantly evolving. There's always more to learn, more to discover, and more to explore.
I think this deep dive has been a great reminder that there are no shortcuts to unlocking our full cognitive potential.
It's easy to get caught up in the allure of quick fixes and magic solutions, especially when it comes to something as intriguing as boosting brain power.
It's like we're all searching for that hidden key that will unlock a higher level of thinking.
And while the idea of a 7-second brain trick is captivating, it's important to remember that true cognitive enhancement is a journey, not a destination.
It's about cultivating curiosity, embracing lifelong learning, and continuously challenging our minds.
It's about exploring different approaches to problem solving, experimenting with new techniques, and finding what works best for our individual cognitive strengths and weaknesses.
So maybe the real trick isn't about a specific technique or a set amount of time.
Maybe it's about cultivating a mindset of continuous learning and exploration.
A mindset that embraces challenges, seeks out new knowledge, and never stops asking why.
And that journey, that ongoing exploration of our own cognitive potential, is something we can all embark on regardless of any 7-second brain tricks.
You know, as we've been talking, it occurs to me that sometimes the most profound discoveries come from simply paying attention to the world around us.
Absolutely. It's about noticing the patterns, making connections, and finding inspiration in unexpected places.
It's about looking at things from different angles, questioning assumptions, and never losing that childlike sense of wonder.
Because ultimately, that's where creativity and innovation stem from a place of curiosity, openness, and a willingness to see the world with fresh eyes.
So while we may never uncover the secrets of a superbrain or a magical genius wave,
We can certainly strive to cultivate our own cognitive abilities and unlock our unique potential.
and who knows, maybe that journey of self-discovery and exploration will lead us to even more profound insights than we could have ever imagined.
That's the beauty of the human mind. Its capacity for growth, adaptation, and endless exploration is truly remarkable.
Well, listeners, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of creativity brainwaves and the elusive quest for enhanced brain power.
We've explored fascinating research, challenged some bold claims, and hopefully sparked some new ideas for you to ponder.
Remember, the journey of learning is ongoing, and there's always something new to discover.
So keep those minds engaged, those questions coming, and never stop exploring the vast potential of your own incredible brain.
From all of us here at the Deep Dive, thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep those minds buzzing.